Hello everyone, my name is Meg and I am here to welcome you to Home Theatre Southampton. Can I start by asking you to switch off your phones? As you can see, we are filming this so you don't have to. So let's start. Thank you, Spring, for allowing us into your home and for telling our performer, Harley, a little bit about you. Through these conversations, Harley has spent this week making a small 20-minute show, especially for you, Spring. Our performer, Harley, is ready. And also, I'd like to point out in the room is your stage manager, that is me, and our filmmaker, Natalie. We are both part of Solent University. Natalie, our filmmaker, may also film your reactions, so if you haven't already, please sign the release forms. And straight away after the performance, we'd like to hear your thoughts on what you saw. Spring has kindly provided some refreshments for you all to enjoy as we talk about what we have just seen. All the films will be edited and uploaded to go onto the internet in January. January is important because on the 25th we have an event at Mast. At this event, you and all the other homes can hear about the process, watch some highlights from the other shows being filmed this weekend, and be there to celebrate the moment all the films go live on the internet. The goodie bag that I gave you earlier contains more information about how to book your free tickets to that event at Mast on January 25th. Southampton Forward is the producer of all this. For those who may not know, Southampton Forward is a new charity that's been set up to help make more things happen in the city. More cultural events, more festivals, exhibitions, music, drama, dance, and anything that can celebrate the city and the brilliant people who live and work here, and those like you, who call Southampton their home. More information about Southampton Forward and what they are doing is also in that goodie bag, as is information about other cultural events in and around the city. So, this weekend we have 11 brand new, unique shows made for 11 homes from all across Southampton, and at this exact moment 3 more houses are sitting like you are getting ready to watch their show. So finally, as Harley gets ready to start, we want you to know that Home Theatre Southampton joins the list of cities from around the world that are part of this pioneering project. It all started in Rio, Brazil, then London, then the capital of South Africa, Pretoria, Dublin and Ireland, and now our beautiful city, Southampton. So let me introduce Harley and her show, their show, inspired by Spring's story. Here we go. Sorry.
That's all right. Thank you. Oh, we scared off one of the cats. At one point, I will have to plop pom-pom somewhere else. Our story begins with me not knocking over any of the pops. Hedgehog. Now, Hedgehog lived at the end of the garden underneath some upturned terracotta pots in a one-room studio apartment. And they filled their apartment with lots and lots of lovely things, but especially things that reminded them of or were gifted by their 4 best friends. Cat, ferret, I made them all myself. Peahen, she got crushed a little bit of transit. And giant isopod. When you've only got £20 for the budget, someone has to get the short straw on, so that's why he's a bit wonky, but that's okay. We don't need to worry about that. And one of Ferret's ears has just come off. That's brilliant. Okay, well, like any friendship group that was made up entirely of queer people, everybody had a lot going on. And Hedgehog's thing was that every year they would have to hibernate. This was quite sad, as it meant every year they would miss out on seeing their best friends for the winter, but it wasn't without relief, because over the winter their friends would send them postcards, and that way they could keep up to date with everybody's adventures and be able to feel like they were still part of the group. When Hedgehog woke up that year, they gave a big stretch, got the feeling back into their quills, and immediately run over to the doorstop. And there, of course, they found postcards, a pile of them, from all of their best friends in order to keep up with their adventures. Hedgehog ran into the living room / kitchen diner, threw a worm onto a plate in the microwave in order to get ready for breakfast, and settled down in order to start reading. The first person who always got their postcard in was Cat. Cat was a creature who enjoyed some of the finer things in life. So every year, she and her polycule would go off to explore different cultures, going abroad to luxuriate in different countries and generally cause trouble because they were cats. Cat's girlfriend was a lovely little tabby named Victoria, who she would talk about art and culture with. Cat's boyfriend was named Steve, and she found him eating out of some bins because he was a ginger tomcat, and brain cells wasn't something that he was gifted with, but what he lacked in brains he made up for in heart. And Hedgehog always loved hearing about their adventures. Hello, darling. I hear you're having a perfectly wonderful hibernation, you know. Sometimes I get a little bit jealous of you sleeping all the way through winter, but I already nap for 18 hours a day, and if I hibernated, when would I have time to eat? You've got to think about these things. Anyway, I've been perusing Paris this year. It's ever so darling in winter. When the December sun was out, we'd find a spot to curl up on the patisserie windows and take bites out of the pan au chocolats when the bakers weren't looking. When the weather was bad, we had to spend our times in art museums. Pretty touristy, but you know, you've got to. Victoria and I went to the Louvre, and honestly, I don't see what all of the fuss was about. All of these people queuing to see a picture of some smug woman when they should be paying attention to me, darling. Me, I'm much more attractive than some oil slap. Oh, hello. You know, don't you? Than some oil slapped on canvas. Well, anyway, it was fine apart from that, though I did get told off for trying to knock the Venus de Milo off of her pedestal. Well, if they didn't want me to swat at her, why did they leave her so close to their edge? You know, I can't resist a playful little swipe. Speaking of, I'm so sorry I broke all of your fine china the last time I came round. It is going to happen again. Running out of room, darling, so here's a list of all the bits and bobs I did in Paris. Shall we meet back up and visit a gallery when I'm back? Ciao, Cat. And in fact, Cat had given a list of all the bits and bobs that she had been up to while she was in Paris, but oh no, it had got water damaged. If only there was some sort of game I could play, thought Hedgehog, some sort of audience participation game that could help me think of all the things that Cat did. Amazing! It's a simple game. It's going to be harder for me than for any of you. I don't know if you've ever played I Went to the Shops and Bought, but it's going to be like that. It's a list game. So I'll say Cat went to Paris and bought a baguette. Then it will be Cat went to Paris and bought a baguette and climbed the Eiffel Tower. We don't have time to think about stereotypes. We've only got 20 minutes. Cat went to Paris and bought a baguette, climbed the Eiffel Tower, etc., etc. All right? Get the gist of it? I'll be here to help. So, this is going to come back later in the play, so we've got to do it. Cat went to Paris and visited a patisserie. I've not got anything for you.
Oh,
I've got my sorry.
You didn't have
I'm gesturing. I know, sorry, my bad.
Cat went to Paris, visited a patisserie and did a ceramics class.
Oh, lovely.
Cat went to Paris, visited a patisserie, did a ceramics class and wore a string of onions around her neck.
Perfect.
Cat went to Paris, visited a patisserie, took part in a ceramics class, wore a string of onions around her neck and bought a beret.
I can do this. Cat went to Paris, visited a patisserie, did a ceramics class, wore a string of onions, and bought a boulet. Oh, and got one of those stripy boat-necked affairs.
Perfect.
Cat went to Paris, went to a patisserie, did a ceramics class, got onions around her neck, bought a beret, and stripy something. Stripy something, and ate a fish.
Okay, so Cat went to Paris and then went to a patisserie.
Yeah.
And then went to a ceramics class.
Yes.
And then wore some onions around her neck.
Yeah.
Lovely. And then bought a beret.
Yeah.
And stripes. Stripes.
Yeah, stripes.
Stripes, yeah.
That's all we've got.
Yes, all we've got. And then stripes.
We've got stripes.
And then
And
stripes.
then ate a fish. And then put a padlock onto a bridge that just had their own name on it. So yeah.
Great. Sounds in character.
Cat went to Paris, went to a patisserie, went to a ceramics class, bought a beret. No, but not before Kat got a necklace of onions around her neck. Then she got the beret. Then the stripy shirt went out for a lovely little fish. And then
It's not a good mind for padlock.
put a padlock on the bridge with her own name on it. And after that, went to see her very, very good roller derby friend.
I'm so sorry. You have the worst part of the game.
Kat went to a patisserie. Then she took a ceramics class.
Yes.
Got a string of onions to wear around her neck.
Yes.
Bought a beret and a
Yes.
stripy top
Yes.
to really fit in.
Yeah.
Went and had some fish. Then went and put a padlock with her own name on it on a bridge somewhere.
Yeah.
Then, after seeing her roller derby friend, she had a glass of wine and a cigarette to really fit into French culture after such a long day.
Well done.
Nice one.
Hedgehog felt exhausted after reading all of that. They couldn't imagine doing all of that stuff in the middle of summer, let alone in winter when they were meant to be hibernating. Still, though, they were glad that Kat was having such a lovely time. Decided to move on to the next one. Now, unfortunately, Ferret had lost an ear while we were setting up, but that's okay. Ferret was next. Now, they could always recognise Ferret's postcards because it came with a lovely little kiss in the corner. Because Ferret made his money as a drag queen under the name Elon Muscalid, which wasn't the best name. It was almost like someone was having difficulty trying to work out a drag name that a ferret would use and had to just pick the best one that came to mind. Still though, he was very successful and Hedgehog always loved reading about his shows in his postcards. Alright Hedgehog, I hope you're doing okay mate. It has been bonkers recently. Let me tell you about our show last night. It was on that little club on the corner of the high street, the one that's always heaving because only queer people know about it, and to be honest, we want to keep it that way. It was absolutely rammed, and not just because of the Rams who were having their annual holiday party, but because we had one hell of a lineup. Lady Bunny was our headliner. Shrew Paul was our support, and I was the MC. You know how much I love interpretive dance, so I opened my set with a 10-minute uninterrupted ballet piece to Tchaikovsky's Swan theme, which you're just going to have to imagine because dance doesn't translate very well to postcards. What I can send you though is the song that I performed. You know I love to have a little sing-song in my act, have a bit of to and fro with the audience just when they think they've escaped after the game. If you learn it, maybe we can have a bit of a jam. Your mate, Ferret. And Ferret had, in fact, left some chords to play on the world's most annoying instrument. There's a little bit of to and fro. It's not difficult. I don't want you to go to the App Store. Go away. She's not part of this. There's a little bit of to and fro. So I'm going to go uh-oh, and you're going to go uh-oh. All right, so uh-oh. Uh-oh. Perfect. And then I'm going to go oh no, and you're going to go oh no. Okay, so uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Perfect. This is not Shakespeare, I promise you. And then the next bit, I'm going to say, I don't have any money, and you guys are going to go boo-hoo. All right, like you would if you didn't have any money. So, uh-oh, uh-oh, oh no, oh no, I don't have any money. Boo-hoo. Perfect. The same will happen again. Uh-oh, uh-oh, oh no, oh no. Then I'm going to say I'm not being funny, and you guys got to go ha-ha. All right, that's it. It's very simple. We'll give it a go, and I'm sure you all get it as we go along. Okay? Uh-oh, uh-oh, oh no, oh no, I don't have any money. Uh-oh, uh-oh, oh no, and I'm not being funny. I went to check on my bank account and I found that my balance was low. I went to look at my savings. Oh God, where did they go? I guess I don't have any money this month and I've no one to blame but myself. Uh-oh, uh-oh, oh no, I don't have any money. Uh-oh, uh-oh, oh no, and I'm not being funny. One more time, uh-oh, oh no, I don't have any money. Hedgehog was feeling ever so musical after that. There was no way to describe in words the strange noodly shapes that Ferret would move their body into when they were dancing, so they just had to stop for a moment and think about it. Bonkers. Anyway, up next was Peahen. Peahen's letters were always quiet, introspective, as whenever you surround yourself with loud queers, one of you becomes the quiet one. But after knocking their ukulele over, Hedgehog always loved reading them because they felt a sense of peace whenever they wrote. Dear Hedgehog, I hope you're doing well over the winter. I know it can be a bit of a pain for you, curling up and sleeping for all that time, and gosh knows we miss you, but I know it's something inevitable. Usually I'd write a little account of what I've been up to. I know I'm not as exciting or wild as Ferret or Cat, but I do have some news. You know my partner, who I've been with for 5 years. Well, early this winter, they sat me down because there was something important to say, and he came out to me. He told me he's been living in the wrong body for a while now, and he wanted to live as himself, as Peacock, properly. Hedgehog, you wouldn't believe the look in his eyes when he told me. He was so relieved. Who couldn't love him for that, you know? So I guess I have a boyfriend now. We've been working on his new look, dyeing all of his feathers bright blue and purple and green. You never realise how normal you look until someone changes up their own look. We had to get dozens of boxes of bleach to make everything neutral, and then slap on the dye. We had to have every window in the house open so we didn't choke on the ammonia. But it was worth it. For that first time he saw himself in the mirror. He said, "This is how I'm meant to look." He was so happy, Hedgehog, in a way I haven't seen him for a really long time. Let's go to that cafe we like when you wake up. I can't wait for you to meet him. Love, Peahen. Hedgehog felt a variety of ways about that. They were, of course, happy that their friend was supportive and that Peacock seemed to be living his best life, but they couldn't help but wish that they had been awake to see it. Still, at least there was the postcards. At least they hadn't been missed out. Finally, there was a postcard from Giant Isopod. This one was special because Hedgehog and Giant Isopod had the friendship that was once in a lifetime. Originally, they'd become friends because of their love for curling up and rolling around. In fact, they'd started a roller derby team, mostly because it was a play on words. But eventually it became deeper, very unique. The sort of friendship that was once in a lifetime and etched its way into the heart. Hedgehog sat down and got ready to read. Hi, Hedgehog. It's been a long winter. I'm never great when there's less sunlight, but anyway, you know me. And I forget how much it is exacerbated when the days are shorter. Every single day I turn to tell you something, and then I have to deal with the fact that you aren't there. It shatters me every time, but I still do it. Every November when you start to hibernate, I get this really heavy feeling in my chest. The idea of losing you for 4 months really breaks me. Being without you is the roughest part of my year, because I miss my best friend. Part of me is just gone without you. At least we have these postcards, and I know whatever life throws at us, we'd always find each other again. I know it, Hedgehog. I know ours isn't the sort of friendship meant to be bound to one lifetime. I think we've been mates in every universe. Maybe before we were isopod and hedgehog, we were giraffe and elephant, or turtle and dolphin, or ant and deck. Probably not that one though, huh? We are eternal, we are universal, we're us. Mate, there's nothing like it, and that poem I wrote you, as cringe as it is to write someone a poem, still rings true even after all this time. Whenever I send you memes on the net, telling you how glad I am we met, and that we would find each other in every lifetime, I want you to know it's not a joke. I'm not being silly. No matter who we are, or what we are, I would always find you and you would always find me. The string of fate between us is untangleable. It is a Gordian knot, I am afraid to say. And 4.3 billion years ago, when we were microorganisms, and I've thought about this far too much, by the way, I single-celled my way up to you, and I said I liked your vibe. We slopped around in the primordial ooze and became each other's tribe. And when our souls came back Jurassic, I reckon we were pterodactyls, holding claws up in the sky. Which is definitely the least classic but most funny way to fly. And when we were Homo erectus, we were giggling at the name. And they found our skeletons in such a silly pose it put the rest to shame. I know that we were cave folk cohabiting in a cave, as I know that we were Celts when the Romans came to raise. We stood side by side at the Globe, watching Shakespeare plays. We saw the Regency come and go, and didn't get the craze. We were perhaps as humanity is in a war or two. Or maybe we were nurses, or soldiers in a coup. Maybe we were children, watching bombs explode. And you held my hand as we felt the world erode. And maybe in the future, when we've evolved, we'll be in rocket ships, laughing in the cafe and eating space-age chips. And in a million years, when our need for bodies is long gone, our souls won't need vessels and we'll simply bob along. And we'll head into the vast unknown and explore it far and wide. But I know I'll be alright if you are by my side. Because there is one thing that I know is always going to be true. You will always find me. And I will always find you. I love you, Hedgehog. Your friend, Isopod. Hedgehog sat with that for a moment. And then they held the postcard very closely to their heart. In fact, they picked up all of them and held them close one by one as if they were holding their friends. And they were overwhelmed with how loved they were, because that's what it was. It was love. Whether it was Isopod's poem, or Peahen's story, or Ferret's song, or Kat's incredibly long list about how she went to the patisserie, then did a ceramics class, and then got a string of onions, and then wore a beret, and then got a stripy shirt and ate a fish, and put a padlock on a bridge with just her name on it, and then said hello to her roller derby friend, which we found out was Isopod, and then had a cigarette and a glass of wine in order to fit in. It was love, all of the same. It was a way to make sure that Hedgehog wasn't forgotten about, that they were still part of the group. And Hedgehog looked at the postcards and decided that they were going to frame them. Put them above their bed so that every night they could go to bed and every morning they could wake up looking at them and be reminded of their friends. And as they chose the perfect frame and the perfect backing, they were overwhelmed with how lucky they were. Thank you very much.